cream-blooded son of a bitch. It's his revenge for all those arguments he lost.
So, guys, we all know Mr. Spock hails from the noble and logical planet of Vulcan, right? Vulcan. Yep. Well, it almost didn't happen. You see, when Leonard Nimoy signed on to play Spock, Gene Roddenberry and the makeup crew, they didn't know. They were not even sure of the ultimate look for this new alien. And Leonard Nimoy was like, "I'm going to play this alien. You don't even, he was a little scared." So then it was decided that Spock should be a Martian. And of course, Martians have reddish colored skin, right? They have red skin. Sure. Spock was first from Mars, and Roddenberry thought he should have red skin. But later, though, makeup tests proved this to be a bad decision. With the red makeup, Nimoy as Spock he almost looked like he was wearing blackface. And of course, obviously, very offensive when the show would play on black and white TVs. That's how he appeared, after the makeup tests came back. So the makeup was altered, changed, modified, and Roddenberry also felt this way. If it was a big hit, Star Trek, if the original series was a big hit, it would run for years. And then what if during that time, because the space program was humming along, what if real humans walked on Mars, got to Mars and looked around? It might destroy Spock's illusion, right, of where he comes from. So the planet Vulcan was created. Now, early makeup tests for Spock were done as the production was, humming along on the pilot. Lee Greenway, a makeup artist for Desi Lou at the time, applied paper mache and liquid latex directly to Nimoy's ears. And then they kept doing tests and tests. Nimoy was really horrified, though. He was like, "I look like an overgrown jackrabbit or an elf with a hyperactive thyroid." So the ears was a problem. But the skin color that, Spock was supposed to be red for Martian, it looked, again, so dark, it looked like it was blackface. So the makeup artist tinkered around and they said, let's make him sort of yellowish and green, like a yellow tone. And this lightened Nimoy on TV, and it was agreed that it was an improvement. And then the network didn't have to worry that viewers would think Spock was some offensive blackface minstrel show offending audiences. And also, I guess the satanic or, red skin tone would provide like a satanic look. And I think some of the executives too at NBC were like, I don't think we want to go there. We don't want, to offend like Christians or religious people. So the red was out, the yellowish green was in, and a Vulcan was born. So what do you think? Would you have preferred Spock to be red, red skinned, red faced, red tone? I don't think so. Really interesting to look at the development. Like even with Data, I know all the the colors or the powders and the different makeup they applied to Brent Spiner to be Data, and that's a whole other story. So what do you think? What's your thoughts? Give us your feedback. Spock used to be or was going to be red. Hope you're enjoying. Hope you're subscribing. See you soon.